Hello, this is Transformers fan G138, and it's been a while since I've done a video review, and at long last, I have Sandstorm. You would not believe how long I've been waiting for this guy to show up in Big Bad Toy Store's inventory. Anyway, he finally showed up, so I'm going to do a video review. He showed up a few days ago. I've played around with him. He's been on my shelf for a little bit. Pretty cool. Not as great as Springer, but not bad. I do appreciate actually having a triple changing Sandstorm figure. Even if he's not even remotely similar to the original, at least, I don't know. If this guy wasn't in the colors he was originally, I don't think he'd be even recognizable as Sandstorm. And I'll get in that in more robot mode. But as of now, for now, we have a few noticeable features. The large wheels in the back and the small wheels in the front, as seen here and here. And I'm going to throw on an extra light and see if that helps things. I can't guarantee one way or the other, but I almost need a light behind me. I could always try changing positions for the next video, but... so he's got large wheels in the back. Proportionally, they're a little bit too large. By the way, this is the original Sandstorm. This is a vintage version, no stickers, very loose. Found this guy in the attic. He belonged to my uncle, and so I stole it from the attic. This I had since I was in 2nd grade, so he's probably even more beat up now than when I found him. Anyway, so as a comparison, you definitely notice the orange colors are pretty distinguishable. The black, too. I mean, this guy is unmistakably colored like Sandstorm, and he's definitely a triple changer. Again, not perfect. So, for features, he comes with this rather ridiculous gun. Like Springer's, it's the peg missile. Like, they seem to be going back to these for cheaper purposes, but this one, unlike Springer's, does not fire well at all. You literally have to have the missile in the right orientation to fire right, and you just have to guesstimate at it. Like, take Springer's gun here. This one has a lot more mass to it, and when you push it forward, one, then the other, and the missile is completely separate from any of the launching mechanism. So there's more mass on this gun, because if we actually take a look at this gun, notice this one's almost completely like hollow. And this one, yeah. This one, the missile actually pegs into the part you move. So sometimes it fires good, sometimes it does not. And we'll notice it's a pain to try to put the missile in, because you actually got to pull this forward and push it in. Honestly, I like this simply because if you keep the missile in here, it's not going to ruin a spring. Same with these. And let's face it, these actually look good with the missiles in them. So, as far as aesthetics go, it's not bad, as long as you don't have them holding it up like this. But it's not bad. It's designed here on a pivot. It's got a hinge here, as well as it spins in its socket. So shoot behind, around, whatever you want. If you don't want it on top, he's still this kind of neat looking car. Big wheels in the back, maybe a little too big. Small wheels in the front, maybe a little too small. Again, a small comparison with this. Yeah, okay, I can see it, Sandstorm. But, again, it's just a heavily retooled version of Springer. And, yeah. So, he rolls actually really decently, I won't give him that. Except he's got these tractor tires on the back. I mean, again, it's not terrible. I appreciate what they tried. This is by far my least favorite mode. Where on Springer, I think, honestly, I like all 3 modes equally. This one is my least favorite on this guy. Okay, so, turn him into helicopter mode, which is not exactly like his original helicopter mode. but we'll go with it. I like the liberties they have taken to make this a more modern thing, and definitely different from Springer, completely. First, I'm just going to quickly transform this into helicopter mode so we can have a comparison. So this takes no time at all. Not really doing a review of this, but it's easier than turning off the camera. And essentially, this is what we have for Sandstorm. And I like that this guy has reappeared in Regeneration 1 comic book from IDW. Yeah, so now turn this guy into a helicopter. We'll start by lifting up this panel, throwing it back there, just unpegging a bunch of stuff. Lifting up these wheels, kind of unpegging like these back here. We'll rotate these all the way back. And like Springer, he's got the funky knee joints, and then those just pop together. Next, we want to just separate these arms, unpeg them from the bottom, flip these down, and pull these panels out and put them over the wheels. Hide the wheels a little bit. There we go. Flip these like this. You actually want them like this. The wings don't do much in this mode. They kind of are just there. Could they have taken them off? Absolutely. Did they? No. So they kind of just hang out, which I'm not a fan of. But then we unpeg this entire canopy, bring it forward, snap it in up to the front chest plate. Only issue here is you can still see part of the Autobot symbol right underneath, sticking out the edge of the cockpit. It looks a little shabby. So these things actually have a new molded tab here that plugs into the actual canopy on top to keep those in place, since the arms don't snap in the same position as they used to. Again, we just I'm going to rotate these around. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be or not, but that way the wings are no, they're not. They're supposed to go underneath here because that wasn't the right position. So the black side's out. Then these tabs here are these slots tab in here. So we'll do that. Make sure this is all lined up. And then these things you'll tab in like 100 times. Next, you raise or lower these respectively depending on where they're at. Then lastly, we'll flip these around and you have the new helicopter vertical takeoff thing. I kind of like it. It's different, but I don't mind that they took the liberties that they did in creating the vehicle mode for this guy. Simply because now he looks different from Springer. And I always do that. Push the landing gear in too far. There we go. And then these kneecap pieces fold out for the landing gear. And there you have that. So these wheels spin. It doesn't spin the blades inside them, unfortunately. But it does give it a little neat playable feature. I like that these rotate independently, so you can go woo. Kind of reminds me of the ships from Avatar a little bit. So, yeah, I just thought of that. But yeah, anyway, I like them. I like it. It's neat. It's different. It's definitely different from the original. The original was just a basic transport helicopter. This flips up to here. So yeah, do I like it better than the original? yes, just because I'm not 100% fan of the original mold, and I don't think I ever will be. Do I like it better than this new Springer mold? Absolutely not. I think this is worse. Now, if I was playing around with this, and I think I figured out a way. This clips under here or something, I don't remember. I don't know. Basically, you can clip this on the top where Springer's gun was, or Springer's rotors would go. Now, if you did want to do rotors on this guy, just for some bizarre random reason, I suppose you can try to fold these out of the way a little bit, or take them off completely because they're just on friction pegs, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to stress the plastic. You can take Springer's sword, repaint the green piece if you wish, and lower these, and it'll actually still work. So if you want to take off these big wheels, you can still hook them up so it looks more like the original. Just gotta get a second Springer, or 3D print yourself some rotors. That's not a bad idea. I might do that, since this sword is also 3D printed, but I'll talk about that later. Anyway, that is essentially helicopter mode. Now, what we all really came here for is the robot mode, or at least I did, because, let's face it, 90% of my collection's in robot mode. So, I'm going to just quickly put Springer's sword back together. And that looks about right. Throw that back in his hand. Okay, so, setting this guy aside, setting this guy aside. Lift these up, get them out of the way. Flip this up, just get it out of the way. Unpeg like everything. I don't even know where some of this stuff goes until I start this process. Start with the legs here. Basically, unpeg them from each other. Flip the foot forward, flip the heel back. Same on the other side. Flip the landing gear back up. This is an interesting little tricky part here. You want the landing gear out, and you want to put the head up. Really? You're gonna do this to me now? So you want to put the head up while this is still here. Like Springer, he's got a hard time clearing this, so his head needs to be face down as you push it through, and then you swap this in and just push it in like that. This comes up. This is the orientation you want the canopy in, helicopter mode. I'm just gonna adjust the camera here a bit, hopefully not drop it like I have many times before. We'll fold these back now. This goes up, this tab pegs into the back. These rotate back. These tabs go into the slots on the side of his chest plate. Next, we want to fold up these wings, double joint, flip out the hand, then close the window. And put this back here, and we have the official configuration and the weapon. He's more back heavy than Springer is. I will tell you that right off the bat. I mean, he's got giant plastic wheels hanging off his back, so I suspect he's going to be back heavy. I thought that from the beginning. He's also got this orange thing sticking over the back, which honestly I don't mind as much. I actually keep them in this mode with this thing up back, even though you can put it down, just because the original had it. And speaking of the original, I'll quickly transform that. So we can do a quick comparison. My guy ends up short here just because his legs compress. They don't lock out. There's not enough friction in there anymore. So, here are the comparisons. So he does have this orange thing above his head. If you don't like it, which, it's not bad. I like that you can put it there, and I also like that you don't have to put it there. So if you don't like it, if you like it, you can put it there. If you're a G1 hardcore fan, it's there. If you don't, you can hide it away by folding these two forward, pulling this up, swapping this around, and dropping it behind. And now it's gone. It's hanging off his back, which both look okay to me. I like it. I, on the shelf, have it sticking up just to give him that appearance. But that's just me. Also, for whatever reason, these move here before I forget to do that. Don't really know why or really care why they move, but they do. Not a lot. Just to that slot, to that slot. Not even sure if it's supposed to, but it does. So, comparison, the face, he's got a mouth, but if you look closely at the helmets, they are pretty much identical. I mean, this one's flat and compressed, but this one's nice 3D. It looks very similar to the helmet around this guy, minus the faceplate. So, that being said, I think in robot mode, he's okay. Does he look like the original? No. Does his colors represent the original? Yes. Is it a good interpretation? I think so. Is it worth the money? I actually had this guy on Big Bad Toy Store scheduled at $38 with shipping. My order was processed, and they went on Amazon. They had it for $22 with Prime shipping. I canceled my Big Bad Toy Store order and went to Amazon. I don't normally do that, but when there's that big of a price difference, and it happens to be in stock on Amazon, for whatever reason, Amazon seems to be doing a competitive pricing on Transformers, if you get the right ones at the right time. Otherwise, they're ridiculous in price. Like the little dudes there, the Legion classes, they're like $18-20 a piece. I'm like, seriously? That thing's like the size of a quarter. No way am I paying that. I mean, I don't get them to begin with, so why would I pay more? Okay, so, quick comparison with Springer. Springer's better figure. This guy's not a bad attempt. I say get him. If you like the Wreckers, or you want the original Transformers, or what, I don't know, don't care. I like it. If you're into that, if you want to like complete a Wreckers team or whatever, this guy ends up on the Wreckers and Regeneration 1, and I think even the original G1 comic too. Not 100% sure on that. I still need to read the last story arc. The story arc the Wreckers appear in. But yeah, essentially that's that. This is this guy. Let's talk articulation. Just remove the gun for now. So, head, ball and socket joint. Arms, hinge. These are much, much looser than Springer's. They don't tend to stay up if you have a gun in his hand. Ball and socket joint also in the shoulder. He's got a swivel above the elbow. Ratchet elbow. A little bit of a hinge here due to transformation. A swivel, which is nice for any motion. He's got a hinge leg, as well as a hinge here. Swivel just below the hip. And then a ratchet joint knee, which goes 90 degrees. Always nice. Knee ports, the knee guards can move a little bit. Feet have a little bit of movement, but they are always going to stay at that angle. Same as it was for Springer. Same feet, the only difference is he doesn't have tires in his legs. So again, just to show you how extensive the remolding is, he's got a bumper on the front. He's got totally remolded arms here, so different detailing. The back flaps, like Springer's got these flaps that not everybody likes, but I do. They don't unfold off this guy. Let's see, he's got the different leg mods down here. He's got different knee guards. Let's see, he's got a different chest plate, different clips here on the arms. They're molded differently. Obviously, the entire backpack. Oh, and he doesn't have the wings all attached to his feet either. Yeah, that, and then obviously different head, if I didn't mention that. Should have, but I didn't. Otherwise, I think what's left is the same. I mean, same basic configuration, just used twice. Back heavy. If you're going to display this guy, make sure he's kind of like leaning up against something a little bit. I mean, you get him in some of the other poses, he's way more balanced. Like, gotta find it. I put him in an action pose now, my wreckers, so. Like that. See the arm moves, but I can like shake this table all I want, and that guy's not going to fall. As long as you put him in the right position, he's fine. Standing up straight looks great for Springer, but makes this guy a little back heavy. So, if you like the wreckers, you like G1 Transformers, you're trying to collect them, this is the best Sandstorm you're probably ever going to find from Hasbro. And honestly, I think it's pretty good. I was excited for this guy. Am I disappointed? No, it's exactly what I expected. Not as good as Springer, but I'm happy with it. This is what I was expecting. So, my camera's about to die, so that concludes my video review. If you have the extra cash and you find this guy at retail, don't hesitate, pick it up. If you have the cash, order it online. Again, you've heard my thoughts. It's not the greatest Transformer ever, but it is decent, and I'm happy with it. I'm not happy with a lot of Transformers, and I will tell you when I'm not happy with something. And this guy has some pluses and some minuses. By far, Springer is better, so if you had to choose between the two, I would automatically tell you Springer. But if you are going to get both, it's fine. It's a good figure. I like it. It fills the hole in my collection very nicely. And that concludes my video review. So, thanks for watching. If you have any requests for video reviews, please post a comment down below. You can check out my collection on my channel. I believe it's the current default video. And I need to do some updates. Anything I've added since has had a video review. So, yep, that's that. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.